wait, you can't do that? You can't like improve your lie? Clearly you've never played competitive golf. I don't know where to start. Like, let's just start with the Paige thing, because that's pretty easy to get out of the way. It wouldn't have been so bad. It wouldn't have been such blatant cheating had she had not talked such a big game and said her comments on the very first hole with Francis. Clearly you've never played competitive golf. I've been playing since June of 2020. I've played a lot of competitive golf since June of 2020. I point back there because there's a lot of trophies back there. I wish I had more. I'll be working on that. Also, too, there are some rules when I first started that for sure I had to like really sit down and study the rules of golf because I would cost myself strokes and I don't know this freaking game. But for someone who's on the flip side of that, who's played professional golf in a sense, or tried to play professional golf in a sense, she's tried to play for money essentially. So that makes her a pro. And the only difference between amateur and pro is that if you win an event, you collect a check, you collect cash instead. If you're an amateur, you can get a gift card, you can get a trophy, you can get a plaque or something like that, but you can't accept cash. That is literally the only difference of you signing as a pro or you signing as an amateur. And anybody today can go and sign up as a pro. All you have to do is go to a golf tournament, write down on the pro side, I'm entering as a pro, boom, you're now a professional golfer. So someone who's talking as if she's a pro, played competitive golf, saying her comment to Francis about clearly you've never played competitive golf, and then all of a sudden we fast forward and then it's like, wait, you can't do that? You can't like improve your lie? I put some questions down to kind of keep me on track because I was just going to ramble off. We'll start with the questions on the Paige subject. So first question is, did she cheat? Put in the comments. Do you think she cheated or do you think she did not cheat? Let me know what you think about it. Was she cheating? Next question. Did she know she was cheating? Did she not know she was cheating? Put that in the comments as well. Do you think she knew or do you think she didn't know? Man, that's even hard. Do you think she was flustered and she just got caught up in the moment and just totally blanked out, had a blonde moment? I don't know. Do we think she forgot she was playing for $1 million? That is probably the biggest question we could ask in this entire thing. And the reason why is because you got to understand all of these golf creators, they're all playing matches. They're filming golf content. This is their job. They do it Monday through Sunday. They do it all the time. So sometimes I would think the only benefit of the doubt I could give is that she maybe got caught up in the moment. She maybe was like thinking it was like every day of her shooting where it's like they don't even really, like kind of what Peter Finch said. If it was any YouTube golf match where it's just whatever, then it is whatever. But because there's $1 million on the line, she may have forgot that and being outside of pro golf or competitive golf, as she would say. I was at the Good event in Indiana. Yeah, in Indiana. It was last summer, and she was there. I wasn't filming with her group. I was with Trotty, Michael Block, Dylan Block, and Al Geiberger. I was in their group filming. Of course, we're all in the same area. We're all in the same hotel, French Lake, Indiana. That's where we were, yes. So for that good event. She maybe have forgot that she was playing for $1 million. And that is the most craziest thought I could maybe give out there for like a thought of like, well, maybe she just had a moment. I don't know. It's hard to even ask that question. So those are the questions that I have. Those are the questions that I have. I want my audience to answer and tell me what they think. In my opinion, I think she tried to get away with one there. I think she was caught while trying to get away with one there. You can kind of put that together. I'm not saying I've ever filmed for Paige. I've never filmed for Paige. I've met her maybe like once, just really quick passing or whatever. Good on Peter Finch for, putting it out there because it's $1 million, dude. What are we doing here? Like, I get it. You're trying to win, but you need to try to win the right way. And at the end of the day, the ball doesn't lie. I always say that no matter what. Like, the ball will not lie. And the ball didn't lie because Frankie could have easily got that up and down on 18, stuck it close. And, what if Dalkey and Beef and all of them lose? That would have sucked. That would have broke my heart to know that they had lost and things like that were going on. But with that being said, close the chapter on that. Do I think it defines her as a person? No, I don't. Do I think it was a moment where she tried to get away with one there? Yes. And that's it. That's all I have to say on that. I think that she tried to get away with one. She was caught doing it, and we move on. She knew better, and to do the blatant cry right away thing, if you were talking so big and bad on hole number 1, and when we fast forward to a few holes later, now you're saying like you don't know one of the most basic rules in golf, which is you can't improve your lie, whether you're in the fairway, whether you're in the rough. There's no like moving objects or this or that. There is a lot she can learn from this and move on. But at the end of the day, it did provide us with good entertainment. So if you were trying to go for that route, I don't think you were. But if you were, it's all good. Like, it doesn't define you as a person. You'll be better for it next time. And we move on. And here we are all talking about it. So good on her for giving us entertainment. Time to move on. Probably wouldn't do that again. Now when it comes to Mr. Rangefinder, I have the exact same one. I think I actually have the model newer than the one Mo was handling. I can tell you this right now, and I may be completely wrong about this, but he did not switch it over. I think in the moment, because we also could hear a click. Like, if we really wanted to do this, and I may do it later, I may actually pull the sound from that clip and I will break it down, because you will hear this. So you will hear that kind of click. If you can hear that kind of click, and I know it's tough because it's a cart cam, you're on the rocks, gravel, you hear clubs clanking around, but we could isolate the sound to be able to hear that. If we heard that click, then he for sure clicked it off. But I don't think he did. I think it looks bad for sure, but I think what he did is he grabbed it off, he put it in his other hand, he's driving, and he just wanted to make sure. He goes like this. So he's going like, let me try to move forward towards the camera. So he's going like this. He's going like this just to make sure that it wasn't on. Because it would really make you like have to think twice. Like you for sure would, you're playing for $1 million, I'm gonna check twice too. Even if I knew, of course, I'm not gonna have slope on, I would still like be like, fuck, I don't think it's been on. Like your brain may rattle fry in that moment. I'll give him a pass versus like what Paige did. That's, come on now. You knew what you were doing. Mo, I don't think he cheated at all. I think he was just trying to make sure he was sliding his thumb here like this, just to make sure it probably was still off. If there were discrepancies, like if they were on par threes or they were hitting flags, or certain things, and they're saying the yardages out loud and they were completely freaking different. Like if somebody had 143 and Mo's like, it's 137. And if it's something that's downhill significantly, I'd be like, oh, his shit's on for sure. Or if it's significantly uphill, and let's say Dalkey's team is like, oh, that's 170 yards after they just shot it. And then Mo's like, it's playing 187. You know, that's a 17-yard difference. I'd be like, holy shit, he's got slope on, like 100%. I've seen this in tournaments actually too, by the way, because especially guys that use GPS, you can't physically tell, like with this being on the cart, that the slope is turned off. You have to go up and double check, because we have to police our own scores. That's why telling the truth in golf is super important, because we don't have, especially on like low level tournaments and like amateur events that I'll do, where it's just like you have to police each other. So it's not like we're looking for something, but if something of the unordinary pops up, they're going to have to call it. Did it look fishy what he was doing? 100%. But he did not change that thing over. He definitely didn't. He was double checking to make sure that this was over. Otherwise, we would have heard that. And I've had this rangefinder since it's gone out. I've played hundreds of rounds of golf using this. This thing's been hitting the floor, battered, this, that, the other. This thing never, ever, this sound never goes away. That sound on any rangefinder never goes away. You always get that click. Always. And there's always a color there that's showing. And I'm sure with one of the angles, we would be able to zoom in. Everyone's talking about the cart cam. What I would do is see if there's any face-on shots where Mo is getting the flag. And if you see that there is a color there, if you see that there's orange, or in his case, for his version, it would be probably red or gray would be the one for his Bushnell. If you see any of those colors showing, he had the slope on. That's the angle that we really need to look at. I don't want to do a deep dive investigation into this, but if you really want to know the truth, if he did have it on or off, I'm going to say 99.9% I think he had it off, and I think he was just making sure that it was still off. At the end of the day, the ball didn't lie. The ball went to the right person. The ball landed in the right spots for the right people, and that's what you have to trust at the end of the day with this thing. All of that aside, I freaking cried at the end of that, and big kudos to Jared and Brendan and everybody who was, Carney and everybody who was filming on this and worked on editing and production with this whole entire thing. I'm choking up now just thinking about it, just because of, I'm so glad that Beef was a part of the winning team. I never got to meet Beef. He came right after, like he wasn't at the last TaylorMade photo shoot, I think. I don't know. I have to check. He might have been, but all of us never crossed paths on this last one. I'll see Riggs, Frankie, and all of them in the upcoming week. In about like 7 days here, we'll be on a flight heading to Florida for a TaylorMade shoot with all the players. I'm giving 100% the benefit of the doubt to Mo, based on also too how he played afterwards. I think a person who's guilty, if you wouldn't be able to like settle in because you would have been caught up, but he kept still playing very much the same exact way he was playing. He wasn't rattled by it at all. If he was, he showed it. He held it inside. He didn't show it, and he held it inside very well. But that's where I'm at with everything, you guys. Like, you really need to look at the guys who put this together, because this story is not told without storytellers. And that is what we do. That is what filmmakers do. That is what videographers do. That's what storytellers do. They tell the story. And at the end, tell me you were not crying when they were showing Beef. And congratulations to all of them. And dude, didn't need a moment. Need a moment. Oh, holy crap. What a series. I've every time I've been done with my shoots for the day and I'm done playing golf, I'll rush back home. I can't wait to sit down and watch this, and I'll be editing at the same time. And it's just awesome. Just big congratulations to everybody. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, you guys. Stay tuned. In about 7 days here, I'll be on a flight to Florida at a TaylorMade shoot, and I'll be with the guys that actually put on the Internet Invitational, that filmed this, that did the editing, that did the production for it. You're going to find out everything that they used to make this. What was the process like? The dumping of all the storage, all the cards, all the memory banks that they probably had to have, the charging banks that they had to have, everything. What were their days like? When did they get to even eat? Because they were always probably doing something. Like, did anything overheat because of how hot it was? So I'm very, very curious to know that side of it, because that's a whole different beast itself. So please stay tuned for that episode. Make sure you subscribe, and you will get notified when when we do that interview. It's going to be 3 of us, and I'm probably not even going to like put B-roll or add in any graphics or anything. I'm just going to leave it raw so you guys can hear the conversation of what happened. And how they put this whole entire thing together. Look for that on Thanksgiving week. Thank you for watching, you guys. Subscribe, stay tuned, notification bell, turn it on, and hit the comments below. Thank you so much.